We present the news summary. Good evening. The fisheries agreement between Seychelles and Mauritius has been extended for 60 days. The agreement is expiring on the 19th of February this year. Representatives of both countries met on the 4th and to the 8th of February to discuss the extension of the existing agreement and begin deliberations for a new one. The Seychelles delegation was led by the Minister for Fisheries and Blue Economy, Jean-François Ferrari, and the Mauritian delegation was led by the Minister for Blue Economy, Marine Resources, Fisheries and Shipping, Sudhir Modhu. Mr. Ferrari said it was necessary to have an extension on the fisheries agreement to avoid any interruption in fisheries activities between Seychelles and Mauritius.
Which is an important agreement because we have Seychellois registered vessels fishing in Mauritian waters, and we have Mauritian registered vessels fishing in Seychelles waters. So we have taken this opportunity to review the fees, the license fees, which hadn't been done for a number of years, and we came to an agreement on an increase of 30%, which is significant, but which we think the country deserves, because this is an important resource that we are allowing other countries to fish in our waters. And similarly, for the Mauritians, it is an important source of revenue. We have discussed our collaboration at regional and international level, especially in our collaboration and how we can align our positions in the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission. With the meetings coming very soon, we need to be strong and to defend our positions. We have common positions. We are both countries that depend significantly on purse seining, and we need to protect this line of business. We need to do better in terms of environmental management and sustainability. So we have common objectives and common visions, and therefore we align our positions. And through this agreement that we have signed again, it is testimony of our wish to see this cooperation develop even further.
The strengthening of cooperation in different areas between Seychelles and Mauritius was amongst issues discussed by the Mauritian Fisheries Minister and President Wibble Ramkalawan during a courtesy call by the former at State House this morning. The two countries reaffirmed cooperation in the areas of blue economy and fisheries. Another main topic of discussion was on how the two countries can work together to prevent young people from the scourge of drugs and to find ways to help the addicts. Minister Modhu described the outcome of his encounter with President Ramkalawan as positive. The Japanese chargé d'affaires to Seychelles this afternoon handed over the Center for the Deaf of Seychelles over to the Association for People with Hearing Impairment. The Japanese embassy funded the rehabilitation of the old maritime school at a cost of more than 1 million rupees. The agreement was signed in 2018. Work on the project started in 2019 and was completed in 2020.
As a community, deaf people will now be able to enjoy their human rights. This facility will also become a center for learning for persons who wish to work in this domain. We are now operational, and deaf children are accessing equal education through sign language. Such a facility not only shows that deaf people's rights are being taken into account, but that Seychelles is abiding to the International Convention in regards to deaf rights. Thanks to the goodwill of everyone, it has been made possible to overcome all financial, administrative, and organizational obstacles.
The Department of Information and Communication Technology, DICT, is working on a regulation to establish standards for different services offered by telecommunication companies. This forms part of efforts to improve on services, especially after the Fair Trading Commission released its report, which highlighted complaints from consumers. The Director General for Communication at DICT, Jeffrey Dougley, said that once the regulation comes into effect, penalties will be imposed on companies that do not maintain the standards.
These standards would relate to service provisioning. How long does it take for a service provider to resolve a complaint? Things like mobile coverage, call dropout. So all these issues will be addressed through this regulation, and it will be the operators or service providers will be obliged to adhere to these standards. And where there's a breach or they do not meet the targets that will be set through the regulation, then the regulator can take action against them. And we would have various options of type of actions that we can take. I mean, for example, we can fine them. We can ask them to pay compensation to customers. We can also ask them to introduce or implement a plan to improve that particular service.
Trois c'est et que c'est vrai is the title of a new children's book, copies of which were presented to the Ministry of Education yesterday. The author is Colette Giléo of the Coccinelle Group. The donation consists of 500 books. This was the news summary. Thank you for your attention.